What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Today we're jumping onto the mini Jeep power wheels. So today I just want to try and bend up some tube and see how that goes. So I think the first thing we'll do, we'll lay the body out and sort of measure up roughly where we want it, and then start to bend up some of that tube I got in last week's video. So let's jump into it. All right, so I've actually got it mocked up on the bench here just for now. This isn't too level, but anyway, it's sort of roughly about where I want it. So I'm thinking the easiest way to probably do it will be to have a pipe come up and around and that way. That will sort of support the body, and we can have one go around the back to connect it all. Right, so I've got my center line marked out there, and 450mm to each end, and then I've got 10mm increments. So we're just going to try and make this bend nice and curved so we don't kink the pipe. We'll give it a go anyway. I've never done this before. Alright, so that turned out absolutely amazing. That first chassis rail is done. Now it does leave a couple of little kinks, but if you do it in 10mm increments, it really helps. So it's actually really smooth in those second bends that I did. So I'm really happy with that. But I realised we do actually need a welding bench, so we can actually weld this tube to it, and then we can sort of walk around and make the whole rest of the frame. So I've got a couple of lengths of 50x50 box tube there, and we'll chuck a bit of 3mm plate on top. So yeah, jump into it. Alright, so I have all the steel cut there. So these two here are going to be the side pieces along the bench, and then that one there and that one there with the joint in it is going to be along the sides. Now this is all just scrap steel, so I'm just using what I have, and these are all going to be the legs. Now we'll be sanding all this down, but that's fine, it's only a bench, so. Alright, check this out. Got the bench all up in place now, it's all fully welded. Now I might add a beam up in the centre there, just along the centre, just to stop it from bowing in the future. But for now I think it should be right. So yeah, we can put the power wheels on top and start to tack things on. Alright, so it's actually the next day here. We got super late on us last night. So I'm back out here. I picked up some of these little 90-degree elbows, so they'll go on there. Just because that bender that we've got won't be able to bend that tight of a radius, I don't think. So that'll go on there, and then it'll join up to our other piece, make some little spaces for this, and we'll space it up off the table so that we can actually start to build the frame. This is so much better of a setup. This bench is so sturdy. Alright, so that took about an hour to do. Now the first tube that I bent is on the bottom. That one worked out really well. It's always the way. The second one didn't turn out too good. So what I've actually done, you can sort of see that sort of don't line up there, but I've actually cut this end off. I'm going to weld it on just like that and sort of kink it up, then we can just weld the gap. Now I'm pretty happy with the rest. They do flow pretty good. I do have to lock this end off here a bit more, but that's alright. So you sort of get the gist, so we'll be able to weld one here and then one over there and sort of up off the ground, and then we'll be able to make our chassis. Oh, I'm so stoked. It is amazing what you can do with just some simple tools and a nice workbench. Man, look at that. I just can't believe that. That looks so good. It's only 2 rails in the air, but anyway. So next thing, yeah, we're gonna whack the body on, I reckon. And then we can start to make up some loops going between and at the back. And then I actually wanna weld on these little back bits and connect that so it's all one sort of frame. And they actually only had 3 90s and 2 45s. So I'll have to add one of them together, but that's all right. We can grind all that down. Now I'm not super stoked with how that's turned out there, so we might have to end up welding that and buffing it all down. But let me know down below what you guys reckon. Should I redo these with just some proper 90s, or do we just do this thing full DIY? I think just welding them in would just sort of be a little bit too much of a cheap way. So yeah, let me know down below, guys. Alright, so I've made a little spacer there, and that actually levels the body out pretty good. So we'll do the same on the other side. Oh, check this out. This looks unreal. So I've welded in that little support there. That turned out pretty good. First time ever notching tubes, so I'm pretty happy with that. Since you guys last saw, I've actually cut more of the body out, so all the way around the back there. So now it sits on there nice and level. And I did actually cut the bonnet out, so that actually flips up now. It's funny, these little latches actually did go over and lock it on, so it must have meant to have been cut out or something. So we'll just make up some little hinges for the top so we can flip it open, but we will be cutting most of this out for our new engine. Alright guys, this thing turned out freaking amazing. I'm so happy with how that's turned out. So let me know what you guys reckon. Should we replace these bends down there, like I said earlier, with some of those steam pipe bends? But I think that actually looks really good. Now I did repair that side of the frame as well, because it's slightly out of whack, so I had to try and fix that up. But yeah, this engine fits in there really well, so I'm happy with that, and I've had to cut out a lot more body space than I thought I would. So yeah, as you can see, we are going to have to lift that body up a little bit, or even I'll cut these off and lift up this frame a little bit more, just so we can clear these wheels, because on the table here it will be at maxed out suspension. So in the next video we'll be mocking up that engine in there, building some type of front suspension hopefully, and on the back there I'll have to try and find some Heim joints locally to be able to make a sort of an A-arm at the back, or swing arm. Now we will have to put a jack shaft in the middle there to run our chain on as well. Alright guys, so in next week's video we're going to be removing the governor off that engine. Let me know if you guys would like to see a video on that. So we'll be seeing how that goes, and then we'll be mocking up that supercharger, and definitely be wiring up the electric start and all that to it, just to make it a little bit easier. But yeah, if you guys like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. It really helps it get put out to suggested videos. Make sure you guys smash that subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss out. I think I'll see you guys in the next one.